Hi, I'm Nat, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today's video is going to be about the Leo new moon, and we'll also be covering the Mercury retrograde in Leo that's happening for the majority of this Leo season. So, we have a Leo new moon coming up on Thursday, July 24th at 12:11 p.m. Pacific time. And to get right into the energy of Leo, Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is at the center of our solar system, and all the planets revolve and move around our sun. So when you think of Leo energy, you can think of the energy of being at the center and being the center of attention and being something or someone who shines very bright and really loves that recognition and attention. So Leo is a very bright, shiny, and enthusiastic and creative energy. Leos really love to be known for their passions and recognized for the things that they're good at. So, whether that's a hobby, a passion, a career, their family, their relationships, wherever Leo falls in your personal birth chart, that is the area of life that you really love to shine and love to be recognized for. So, Leo rules over creativity. It rules over our hobbies. It rules over the things that bring us joy. So when you think of Leo, you can think of this very creative, artistic, um, and bright and colorful type of energy. And Leo also rules over children with this creative energy. And Leo also rules over the initiation, the passion, and the beginning of dating relationships. So, Leo really likes to have fun. It likes to have fun. It likes to be recognized for its creativity, its artistry, and the way that they like to have fun. So, Leo energy really is bright, it's bold, it's passionate, it's fiery, and it's artistic. So that is a rundown on Leo energy. And we have this new moon in Leo happening this Thursday. And when the new moon happens, we have the sun and the moon conjunct. And for this new moon, they are conjunct at 2 degrees. So we have a Leo new moon conjunct the sun in Leo. And Leo is ruled by sun. So this is going to be a very um, bright and forward and shiny type of new moon. You may find the opportunity or the feeling coming up of wanting to be um, at the center of attention, in the limelight. You want to be seen. And that is the powerful vitality and passion and desire of Leo to really put yourself out there and to allow yourself to be seen. So, with new moons, this is all about a time to take initiation, take new action in the area of life where Leo falls. So, the interesting thing about this new moon is that we have a Leo, or excuse me, we have a Mercury retrograde in Leo. So, Mercury retrograde is all about the past. It's about revisiting something that you've been working on or revisiting a relationship, revisiting a career, and it depends on where Leo is in your chart. But Mercury retrograde is all about communicating or receiving communication from the past. So during this time, We may be revisiting old ideas, processing old experiences. We may be in communication with people from our past, um, revisiting an old career. And it doesn't mean that it is the time to take action on something that is old or something that is from our past. However, it could really be a time where we are revising a certain idea, a career, a relationship, how we show up in relationships. We might be wanting to redo, revise, reflect, edit. So it really is about the past coming to us to process a little bit more and to see where we're at with whatever it is that is um, coming to us right now, and what do we want to do. Do we want to leave it in the past? Do we want to revisit and have some communication around that career, that relationship, that idea, whatever it is? Do we want to have some communication around what that may be for us now, or how to move forward, how to make that certain career, relationship, idea, how to make it something that we want to pursue? So it's actually a really interesting time right now where we have the Leo new moon asking us to take initiation and to take new action in the area of where Leo sits in our birth chart. And we also have Mercury retrograde bringing up the past to revisit. So I'd say, like, really move towards alignment. And don't be afraid to take action if it feels in alignment, because you do have this new moon asking us to take new action. And it doesn't need to be big, it doesn't need to be bold or brand new, but it could be a new way forward from um, an existing person, relationship, career, um, or idea that you've been working on, or project you've been working on. So it is a positive time to take new action, but it is going to really ask you to dissect what it is that's coming up from the past, and whether you sit and wait and let that processing continue to happen, or maybe it's time to make new or to take new action based on an old past project, idea, career, relationship, whatever it is. So it's interesting that we have this contrast between, Mercury retrograde, which kind of asks us to slow down and to really revisit what's coming up. And there is this conception about Mercury retrograde and not taking new action, not diving into new projects, new relationships, whatever it is, because Mercury's in retrograde. However, a Leo new moon with the sun conjunct the new moon, Leo's ruled by the sun. This is such a positive opportunity for us to take advantage of. So I urge us just to really step into alignment. And if action feels right now, go ahead and take it. And if you need more time to process and figure out what it is that you want to do, go ahead and do that as well. And since we have Mercury retrograde, I want to note that Mercury went retrograde on Saturday, July 19th, so just about 5 days before this new moon in Leo. So we've been revisiting the past for about a week, close to a week. And while Mercury retrograde was bringing up the past for us, we also had Mars um, transiting the South Node in Virgo. So Mars is in Virgo right now. and it met up with the South Node in Virgo at 19 degrees on July 20th. So just the day after Mercury went retrograde, we also had Mars transiting the South Node in Virgo. Mars is the planet of action. It's a planet of drive. It gets us to move forward and take action towards our passions and whatever it is that we need to get done. And when it's transiting the South Node is all about everything we want to leave behind. It's from our past life. It's different for everyone because not everyone has a Virgo South Node. However, the Virgo South Node is affecting everyone, and to a certain extent. So when Mars meets up with the Virgo South Node, there's a lot of energy around wanting to leave something behind. There's also like an urge, kind of like a rush to take action. And if we aren't aware or grounded, this action could really be based in urgency, and it might not be based in something that we truly want. So, since we have Mercury in retrograde, and also we just had Mars transiting the South Node, it's been like an extra element of things from the past coming up for us right now. So, if the time right now feels heavy because you're processing a lot of the past. You're processing old experiences, old relationships, old careers, whatever it is right now. It's not just because we have Leo or we have Mercury retrograde in Leo. We also had just the next day, the day after Mercury went retrograde, we had Mars and Virgo conjunct, which is transiting the South Node in Virgo. So, a lot of this past energy has really been coming up for everyone right now. The good news is that by the time this new moon happens on Thursday, July 24th, Mars will be past the South Node in Virgo. It's still within about a 2-degree placement next to the South Node in Virgo. However, it's moving away from the South Node. So we get a little bit of energy, of past energy clearing us right now. Um, However, we are still dealing with the Mercury retrograde. But I wanted to point this out because it could have felt like a very urgent and quick and rush of past energy coming up and maybe throwing us off, maybe making us feel like we need to take action when we don't really need to take action. We could wait and process. Um, or if we were really ready to let something go, if we were aware of what was coming up for us, and if it was something that we wanted to leave behind and doesn't serve us anymore, that time could have been a really good time to consciously or even unconsciously let go of something that is not serving us and um, is better in the past. So that is just another little highlight of what's going on right now. And um, I think I'm going to get into the aspects of the new moon now. So I have the chart of the new moon right here, and I'm going to start with the aspects to the sun and the moon. So for a new moon, the sun and the moon are conjunct at the exact degree. So they're both at 2 degrees. So I'm going to look at all the aspects and apply the sun and moon to those aspects. So the first one that I want to mention is we have the sun and moon at 2 degrees, sextiling Uranus in Gemini at 0 degrees. And this is this is a sextile, so it's going to require us to take some action or put some effort and energy in order to benefit from this. But this is a positive aspect. And what this could actually bring us right now is a little bit of positive shock. So when we have the sun in Leo and the moon in Leo in this new moon aspect, a lot of shining bright is going to be a part of our identity at this moment. The sun is our identity. It's how we show up to the people around us. It's our personality. So the sun in Leo wants us to shine. It wants us to be seen and to put our best foot forward. And the moon in Leo is asking us to put our emotions and feelings out and let them be heard and seen. So, since there is a sextile to Uranus and Gemini, um, there may be a positive and shock when we put ourselves out there, when we share our feelings, share our desires, and communicate our emotions, and when we actively put ourselves out there to be seen. We could benefit from this in a shocking way, an unexpected way, and in a very original and unique way as well. So that is the sextile from the sun and moon to Uranus. Next, I want to talk about the trine to, um, or trine from the sun and moon at 2 degrees, and they are trining Saturn in Aries at 1 degree and Neptune in Aries at 2 degrees. So the theme of the new moon is shining bright and being seen and putting ourselves and our identity um, in the limelight, in the forefront, and putting our emotions, um, communicating our emotions and our desires and our feelings, and putting them in the limelight or sharing them or honoring them and taking action towards those feelings, desires, and emotions. So, the sun and moon is trining Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries. So to start with Saturn in Aries, Saturn in Aries is about taking ownership of our identity. Aries rules the first house, which is all about self and our identity. So having Saturn, this very consistent, diligent, discipline, and serious sign in Aries. It's asking us to take ownership of our identity. And when we have that trining the sun and moon in Leo, I think it's offering us positive feedback in when we shine, when we put ourselves out there in the limelight or out there to be seen, we're going to get reinforcement back about being seen for the thing that we want to be seen for, and and being seen as maybe consistent, being seen as maybe authoritative, and being seen as someone who has put work and time into their identity and what they want to be seen for. So Saturn is going to support us in being seen for our identity right now. And when we have this sun and moon trining Neptune in Aries as well, Neptune is the planet of our dreams. It's the planet of fantasy. It rules over our intuitiveness and it also rules over fame. So I think this connection with the sun and moon in Leo trining Neptune in Aries, it's all about us taking an intuitive step to put ourselves out there, whether it be um, sharing our emotions, wearing our emotions on our sleeve, um, or doing something that gets us seen, that is moving towards being seen for our identity or something around our identity. Um, Neptune is going to support us because it's going to feel right to be seen right now. We'll take the right step forward to be seen, and however way you choose to do this. Um, and it's also going to be about this part of making our dreams reality, making the dreams and the inner imagination of ourselves shine, because it's Neptune, which is all about the unseen. It's about our unconscious. It's about our dreams and our intuition. Um, and when we take a step forward, a physical step forward in representing our identity, representing um, or being seen, Neptune's going to support in making that dream align with the step you're taking to be seen. So that is a very supportive aspect right there. And because Neptune is in Aries, which rules our identity, and we have the sun in the sun in Leo and the moon in Leo, this new moon is really about our identity. There's a lot of confirming energy around our identity and taking the right steps, the intuitive steps, the consistent steps towards being seen and towards, you know, not creating a new identity, but towards actually stepping into that new identity, into an aligned identity for yourself. So, those were two positive aspects. And the next one I want to talk about is going to be considered a harsh aspect. It is an opposition. So we have the sun in Leo at 2 degrees, we have the moon in Leo at 2 degrees, and they are opposing Pluto in Aquarius at 2 degrees. So this is a pretty exact opposition. And what this is telling us is we're going to find a contrast between wanting to be seen and wanting to shine and wanting to be in the limelight and wanting to express our emotions, wear our emotions on our sleeves, um, and wanting to share our feelings and desires. We're going to find contrasting energy with that Pluto in Aquarius. And Leo is all about wanting to be seen. Aquarius is all about originality, unconventional characteristics, and authenticity. So there's like this contrast between maybe wanting to. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Aquarius is also detached energy. It's detached from our emotions. It can come off as cold, but it really is being a little bit detached from our emotions and our feelings. So when you have Aquarius or Pluto and Aquarius, Pluto is all about transformation. It's about deep, deep transformation and getting to the root of an issue or a root of a situation. Um, and that deep transformative energy in Aquarius maybe not maybe making us feel not ready to shine bright or to come forward and to share um, what it is that we want to be known for, or to share our emotions, our desires, and our feelings. And there's a contrast um, between those two energies right now. And if I had any advice to share with this contrast, is is probably to incorporate that Aquarian energy, because Aquarian energy is so authentic. I mean, it is quirky, it is original, it is unconventional, and it may, someone who has Aquarian energy may feel reluctant to share it with everyone. They may be only comfortable with the people that are close with them to share their Aquarian type of energy with. Um, but my advice right now is it is really beneficial to bring that Aquarian energy to the forefront. into the limelight and to share those unique perspectives and qualities, and to share the original thoughts and ideas that you have, which are centered around Aquarian energy, and take a step with this new moon to share those original thoughts and ideas, those unconventional thoughts and ideas, and let it be known. Leo's all about just putting themselves out there, and being very prideful in who they are, no matter what it is that makes up their identity. Leos are very prideful, um, and they love to shine, and they love to wear their heart on their sleeve. So that Aquarian energy may be a pull back from that Leo energy, but feel free to share whatever it is that feels a little bit quirky or unique or original or unconventional, and use this new moon right now to even just share a little bit. You don't need to jump all in right now, but um, sharing a little bit could feel very liberating, um, and you could have a lot of pride in that right now as well. So that is um, that is the aspects to the new moon in Leo. It's the aspects to the sun in Leo at 2 degrees and the moon in Leo at 2 degrees. And now I'd like to talk about aspects that are happening around the new moon. So I think the first thing to know is that um, we have Mercury retrograde in Leo. However, we don't have anything aspecting Mercury right now. So it is just kind of, there's no harsh aspects that could be affecting the Mercury retrograde, which can be pretty helpful right now. And there's also no positive aspects, so it's kind of just there doing its thing, and that's not a bad thing. So nothing is aspecting Mercury retrograde right now. But we do have a couple other aspects at play. And the one that I want to talk about, and it actually might be the only one that I want to talk about. Yeah, it's we have Venus in Gemini right now at 2 degrees, and it is square Mars in Virgo at 21 degrees. So when you have a square, this is hard energy to deal with. And when you have a square, you're going to have the um, unevolved or the not so positive aspects of that planet show up. So Mars, the um, unevolved or not so positive aspects of Mars are aggressiveness. It's forced action, it's rushed action. It can transpire as anger. Um, what else? And yeah, I think that would like cover the harsher characteristics of a square that involves Mars. Also, the harsh characteristics of a square that involves Venus are going to show maybe not showing up for yourself, maybe not having boundaries in relationships, or maybe just not wanting to um, always put on a smiling face, always put on your best clothes, your best um, appearance, and that's not a bad thing. Like, I think what I'm trying to say is you might rather want to just relax and not take action right now if Venus is involved in a square. Um, and maybe those things that bring you value, or the things that you value, you're not necessarily taking action on them right now. So with this Gemini, with this Venus in Gemini square Mars in Virgo, I'm going to try to apply this to what's happening or what I'm feeling right now. So the square is probably this like tug of feeling like you need to take action, feeling like you need to rush to take action, feeling like you've put off something that you need to do. And Venus is like, I don't want to do that right now. I'm relaxed. It's not my priority. It might be something that I need to do, but I don't want to do it right now. So, with that square from Venus in Gemini to Mars in Virgo, it's a contrast of energy, a tug of energy, asking you to take action, but not feeling like you want to take action, and then having urgency around taking a certain action, but also being like, if I miss a deadline, it's not the end of the world. So it's just that tug of energy that's at play right now between our drive and our action forward, and between our values and our beauty and our relationships. So that is what is at play for us right now with the Leo new moon. So we have a lot of energy happening this Leo season, and even though we have Mercury retrograde, um, it doesn't mean that we need to stop from being seen. We need to take a step back. If anything, be seen, take aligned action, um, put yourself out there, put your emotions, your feelings, and your desires out there and communicate them if you feel that is right now. And that could really be the theme of with Mercury retrograde at play as well, is that it's a time to communicate your identity, to communicate what you want to be seen as, to take action towards putting yourself out there and being in the limelight, and also to communicate your emotions, communicate your desires, and communicate your feelings. And it's going to spark up new conversations in the areas of life where Leo falls for you in your personal birth chart. And those conversations are going to allow you to take action forward. And you know, be wary of taking any new big jumps forward, especially if it comes to new relationships, as they say with Mercury retrograde. Um, but don't hold back those conversations and that communication around your identity, who you are, and what your emotions are, and what your feelings and desires are. Because this Leo new moon and Leo season in general really is about wearing your heart on your sleeve, um, and not being afraid to share what it is that's on your mind and on your heart right now. So I hope everyone is feeling ready for this Leo new moon and ready for this Leo season, because Mercury retrograde is going to be happening from July 19th to August 12th. So that is the majority of the Leo season. So if you have any questions about your personal birth chart and would like to book a reading with me and see what this Leo season has in store for you, go ahead and comment on my YouTube channel. You can find me on Instagram at Natalie R. Cox, and you can DM me. And I have a couple options available right now for astrology birth chart readings. And I would absolutely love to help anyone who is beginning their astrology journey or is already on their astrology journey right now. So, hope everyone has a great summer, has a great Leo season, and I will see you next time. Take care.